following program aims to open your mind and show you that you're not as different from half the country as you probably believe. A few people don't like that. They hate having to reconsider their opinion more than Mitch McConnell hates mirrors and staircases. But we're betting you're not like that. Once you get a taste of our show, we will become a part of your routine like Nancy Pelosi's 7 a.m. martini. So stick around and smash that like button because we are just moments away from starting the following program. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the following program. I'm your host, Joe Neerman, a.k.a. Good Lawgic. Tonight, we have two things on the agenda. Sorry for the late start time. I think I put notice on local. Yeah, okay. I did. I didn't start chat. I'll fix that now. Chat is now on in locals. Did I post this in X? I don't remember if I posted. I did post this in X. Oh, okay, look at this. I was working really fast to get everything done before that 9 o'clock space where I was sharing the backstory on my efforts to see Trump get ungagged. And I want to thank Crypto Lawyer for hosting that, as well as the other two. Mark Norton, is that his name? I don't know. The rest of it was cut off from me. Anyway, so I want to thank those gentlemen for helping call attention to that. I spent the last hour and a half on a Twitter space basically explaining procedurally what's been going on, the legal, from the legal end of things, where I have standing, what my arguments are, things of that nature. I'm trying to break it down for a broader audience with limited shilling of givesendgo.com/ungag Trump. We're going to start needing that money, start using that money soon. That's becoming apparent. I will tell you this. Two updates I want to give you. First and foremost, in case you missed that Twitter space, the more I thought about it, the more I have concerns that New York State is likely, the chances with this case, the criminal action against Trump, moving along as expeditiously as it is, there's a very strong chance that they'll reach a verdict before New York State will ever reach a verdict in my case. I can't ignore the fact that that is their agenda. If that does happen, I will be strongly exploring. And I'll tell you this much. If that happens, or if I lose in New York, and it gets knocked out for mootness, which could happen, I will be talking to Ron about bringing our opportunity to bring a similar type of application in DC, where the gag is ongoing. It seems like it's going to be ongoing for some time. So that's one update I want to give you. I'm not walking away from this fight until cert is rejected by the Supreme Court. I'm not walking away from this fight. If there's any way that I can get in there, I have to see whether I can get standing. I was talking to Crypto Lawyer about that, and he was talking to me about what opportunities there are for that type of relief through going with respect to the DC Circuit Court's gag order, or more their affirmation of Judge Chutkin's gag order in that case. I think that I need to press this forward. This has become a calling for me. So assuming the money's there, assuming we can afford it, which so far you guys have been ridiculously generous. And I don't want you to think for a second I'm not deeply appreciative of it, because I am. So, but I do plan on pushing this forward as far as we can get it. And I got a little thing down below. I should pin in the chat, which I have not pinned yet. I should pin in the chat something to that effect also. Let me do that now. Let me just do that real quick. To support our efforts to ungag Trump, please visit that address right? Did it? No, it's not. Okay. I just got to pin it. I got to pin it. This is where I didn't put it here. I forgot to put it somewhere. I didn't post. Pen. Just about done. All right. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. Like I keep saying, this is so not about Trump. It's really not about Trump. This is a matter of I don't want to see our First Amendment rights erode, and I think that this is a fast track towards the complete erosion of our First Amendment rights. If you can gag a criminal defendant, do you think that they're not going to be gagging other people also? I mean, a criminal defendant would have more protections, do you think, than anyone, right? Because he's potentially being his defense is potentially being imperiled. So this is a matter of really this is the hill for my career to die on, if it has to. Anyway, other update I want to give you is this: we keep talking in dour terms about the possibility that the First Department is going to try and suffocate my application via pushing out return deadlines. I was supposed to be in front of the court on my application, my motion on May 6th. Today is May 13th. They still don't tell me when the end date is. I don't know. They can pick any day they want. They can pick some day in July if they want. What am I going to do about it? My attorney is looking into getting injunctive relief directly to the Court of Appeals. So we're looking at making an application to the Court of Appeals based on the fact that this case is lying dormant for no explicable reasons. There's no reasons that's even been provided as to why there is no end date. It makes no sense unless there's no it makes no sense. There's no logical reason I can come up with other than that it's purposefully designed to try and frustrate the relief and make it moot. So I want to be clear. I'm not accusing the court or the clerk of the court of doing that. I'm simply saying I struggle to come up with any other reason. And there could be other reasons that I have not conceived of that's possible. It's definitely possible. I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of thing with their dockets and how many cases they can have. I don't know. That's possible. It seems very difficult to understand how I can be asking for emergency relief. And a week after this thing was supposed to be finalized and done, you're telling me it's not only done, but someday in the future, you're going to tell me about some other date in the future as to when it will be considered done. I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all. You shall not gag! You've been gag. What, $500? What are you talking about? I took my shots for you. That's 2 full shots. Don't even start with that. Don't even start. What $500 back? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Where was I? Anyway, so that was a really serious update that I have for you. My lawyer has come up with he's Ron Rudy. He was researching the opportunity for getting injunctive relief directly from the Court of Appeals, the highest court in the state of New York. In fact, he gave notice to my adversaries of his intention to do that. Anytime he gives notice of good logic, attempting to do something, so I follow up with notice personally in my individual capacity saying that I am joining. So we have given what's called Rule 202.7 notice that we're intending to get injunctive relief from the Court of Appeals. I cannot share those papers with you yet. I will share them with you once they've been served. Hopefully, if he submits in the Court of Appeals, that will be something that you can pull up on NICE. Those will be papers that you can find and anyone can find. Also want to share with you one last point with respect to my unbagged Trump application, and that is I was in front of, when I was just speaking now, there was a gentleman on the panel there who's from Red State, which is a site that I frequently use for news stories and things of that nature, who said he intends to do a story on this. So hopefully we can start getting some further pub so people can appreciate the gravity of these unconstitutional orders and what a terrible, terrible breakthrough this is for the government's ability to trample our civil liberties. Maybe the court updated to Windows Vista. That's possible, Joe. I don't know. I mean, the criminal NICE system is non-existent. There is nothing from criminal court on NICE. I've showed the audience here how there's a section there for criminal, and they say you cannot upload here. We won't even take it. Don't even try. Now, I've never had to practice in criminal court, but it's just astonishing how outdated the New York criminal system is with respect to maintaining their records. But this is not a criminal thing. Article 78, this is a civil application that I made when I sued Judge Merchan. And those of you who missed it, the clerk told me that the rules changed 2 days after I filed. Like the rules that they had forever changed. Forever, 2 days after I filed, 2 days too early. And if I filed 2 days later, everything would be up in NICEF and everyone would see anything. And even though we're now well past those 2 days, they're not going to move anything over to NICEF. That's what they told me. So you're accusing the court. I'm not. Ed is accusing the court of intentionally stalling. I'm not. Go to the vape. It's full of personal justice. I'll take 91 indictments and truth bombs for the win. Do you? Will ya? Will ya? I don't even know what that means, but thank you, douche. Even gave you a shout out to Megan and Kelly. Yeah, I saw that. I actually shared it on Twitter. I clipped where he mentioned that. I actually asked him if he can sort of throw that in there. He's like, sure. And he's like, remind me. So I did. And then he's like, done. So he's awesome. I'm a big fan of Evo. Smart guy, fun guy, very entertaining. Love that guy. Maybe you should upgrade from Windows Vista 2. That sounds like way too much work. Way too much. This is actually Windows 11. This is Windows 11. Odds Trump doesn't want to be ungagged for publicity. It's an interesting theory. He's brought an application to be ungagged. So, oh my. Oh my. Oh my. What have we here? What have we here? Whoops. Look at this guy. Master Phillips with a new picture of him and his cat gifting 20. Count them, 20. 20. Good Lawgic memberships. God bless you, my brother. Thank you so very much for that. Who? I need to know. 20. Who became members of the following? Let's see what we got here. He managed to hit Jim Tauger, Jonesy, John McNulty, Shelly Anderson, Seth Cohn, Alpha She-Wolf, Kevin B. Clark, L. Lambert, Heartbreaker 6, Mr. Wabbit Killer, JL, Steveo Ta, Toy La Carissa, CM Books, Edith Garachi, I'm assuming that's got to be Garachi, right? Eric Beisch, and Jim P. and Al B. All of you new members to the following. You're new around here. I understand. You're looking around. You're like, what does this mean? I'm now a follower. What does that mean? Who am I following? It's a very good question. One person I can promise you that you're certainly not following is me. A lot of people make that mistake. It's an easy mistake to make. You see my face in front of you, and all of a sudden I'm reading off as if I'm like Bob Barker here. Come on down. No, I am not the leader of the following. I'm merely a host. I'm just a host. That's it. I'm the face of the franchise, but I'm not the leader. No, not at all the leader of the following. Not that there would be any shame in it, because it's not as if the following is any kind of cult. That's for sure. It's definitely not any kind of, it's definitely not a cult type of cult. It's not any type of cult type of cult. There's no similarities. So you 20 people there, you might be thinking, oh no, I'm in some sort of cult. All of a sudden there's gonna be spaceships. No spaceships. There's tracksuits, not mandatory. There's gonna be no Kool-Aid. There's no self-harm. There's no harming others. There's no goat sacrifices. There's no squirrel mutilations. There's no smearing blood on walls. No sticking your head through a door screaming, "Here's Johnny." No marching and dancing around bonfires in the middle of fire, in the middle of a forest, while shucking off clothing to the beat of a steady tom-tom. In no way is this a cult type of cult. In fact, every one of our members, Mile Farm Work, every one of our members will attest to the fact that the following is not in any way, shape, or form a cult type of cult. I'm not the leader. The following is really, so what is it then? What if it's not any of those? It's really about community, unity, and some leadership training, and obviously personal growth. It's personal growth, community, unity, and leadership training. There you go. Very, very, very clean. Not at all. I'm not the leader of the following. Say it with me. Joe is not the leader of the following. Thank you. See? They know. Ask Joe. Joe's been here for ages. He knows. Totally not a cult. Totally not a cult. Mega Mob Ass says, Joe, the panel is going to give me an aneurysm. None of the Biden supporters have worked a manufacturing job. American blue collar workers are struggling and will continue to under Biden. Yep. They're so ivory tower compared to the typical American. He's referring to the earlier space that was on there and with Mario, which in the early part I got in a lot, and then all of a sudden I don't know. Once they told me that my mic was out, I was like done basically. Not a call. Okay, how about Good Lawgic family, Joe? The Good Lawgic family. Interesting. What up, Good Lawgic fam? Interesting. Definitely merits consideration. At this juncture, I would like to jump over and start sharing with you testimony from today's case of the people versus Donald Trump. From what I understand, that testimony included that of admitted perjurer, former attorney Michael Cohen, who's supposed to be the star of the show. He's the one who's going to put him away. The walls are closing in. Citizens United for Legal Transparency. A movement and a... See this? Legal transparency. I am all about... I don't know about that. Legal transparency. Definitely transparency is a big deal. Gotta think about that. I gotta think about whether that works with respect to the following. Gotta think about that. Let's get into Inner City Press's coverage of today's trial. Starts off with, okay, Trump heads into the home stretch. Michael Cohen, Alan Weisberg brought down to take the fifth. Stormy audiobook. Okay, there we go. Support Inner City Press. I've met Inner City Press. I know Inner City Press. He knows me. I have his phone number. He has my phone number. We're texting buddies. I'm texting him in the middle of trials. Not really so much because I wouldn't want to disturb him. I know how stressful it is. I've seen him work. I've sat next to him while he's worked in the courthouse. Good guy, smart guy. Actually an attorney also. You wouldn't know it necessarily, but he happens to be an attorney who just loves covering trials, and he covers the UN also, but he lost his UN badge. They took it away from him for absolutely no explicable reason. He's fighting it to this day. That happened a couple years ago. Trump is here, dark blue suit, light blue tie, talking to lawyer Emil Bove to his left, Todd Blanche to his right. To the lead counsel seat, could he be cross-examined by Cohen when the time comes? Now Blanche whispering to Trump, covering his mouth like a baseball manager talking to the pitcher on the mound. Then Blanche leaned behind Trump to speak with co-counsel Bove. Susan Neschel is sitting at the end of the defense table, separated from Trump by Bove. So you got your three men there. Susan Neschel is on the end. All rise, clerk. This is the people of the state of New York versus Donald Trump. Justice Merchant. I received the people's proposed jury charges. Haven't reviewed yet. I reviewed the separation agreement of Alan Weissenberg. I am not going to allow it in. Okay. That's probably good for Trump. Jury entering. People, your next witness. The people call Michael friggin' alleged admitted perjurer Cohen. So you sweat this? That's a Freudian slip right there. That's a Freudian by Inner City Press. Asking hug Michael Cohen. Do you sweat this will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes, I'll be sweating a lot. Michael Dean Cohen, 57 years old. 57 years old. He reminds me so much of Chris Christie. Tell the jury about yourself. I grew up in Long Island. My father taught surgery. Met my mom. Allegedly. You weren't there. 4 children later, here I am. Why did you want to be a lawyer? My grandmother wanted it. I wanted to go to Wall Street. I started in personal injury law at 225 Broadway. Hey, I worked down there. One of my clients allowed me to buy 50% of Manhattan maintenance taxi medallions. All right, so a couple of things I need to explain to you about what he's saying here. First and foremost, when he says he's a personal injury lawyer, that means he is the slimiest of the slimy lawyers. That's what he started out as. I have a good friend of the Rothenberg Law Group who's a phenomenal human being who would be very mad at me for saying that. I'm referring to my friend Harry Rothenberg, who happens to be a brilliant man and a kind, generous man. And he happens to be the head of a personal injury law firm. And I'll tell you right now, I recommend the Rothenberg Law Group. If you have any personal injury needs, please, please, please mention to them that Joe Neerman sent you so I can get a referral fee. If you're in the New York area, and God forbid you need a personal injury attorney, I highly recommend it. But excluding him, who's a personal friend and a great individual, not only a phenomenal attorney who went to Harvard Law, brilliant guy, friggin' brilliant, awesome human being, and just like genuine, like salt of the earth, phenomenal person, as well as his family who works with him in the firm. All great people. I met many of them. They're all great people. Outside of that firm, personal injury attorneys have a reputation for being the scummiest of the scummy. Just saying. Just saying. Like personal injury attorneys, and when the attorneys get together and they hear you're a personal injury attorney, there's a sneer. There's a sneer that invariably is dropped on you. Like, oh, okay. Now, I mentioned to you a couple of weeks ago, taxi medallions. You know those yellow cabs you see in all the movies? Every time you see footage from New York City, the yellow cabs that we got here, they have on the side of them a medallion, bam, which says that they're registered with the city of New York to operate as a cab. They used to be very valuable prior to Uber. I don't know if they're as valuable today, but they used to go for 30, 40 years ago. I heard that they would go for, I don't know, like $100,000. Back when $100,000 meant something. Oh, did he call a family too? But he had a cult. That's the difference. The following's not at all a cult. I have a cult. Reason we're not a cult is terrible tax bracket. There you go. Sounds like Inner City Press is our cult. He's great. I'm a big fan of his. Sassy Grandma became a YouTube member. Welcome to the following, Sassy Grandma. Oh my, welcome aboard. So nice. So nice to see new members of the following. Be like us. Be like us. Be like us. Like members of the following. Sadly, Trump's team can make this a slam dunk, and the jury will still vote guilty because Orange Man bad, in my opinion, kangaroo court. I haven't seen the jury, so I don't know. You're not alone in having that concern. I think Donald Trump pointed out. Many people, someone pointed out in the space today that 87%, I think it was in the space, 87% of all people living in Manhattan vote Democrat. 87%. 87. 87. In real estate, I started buying Trump properties, then buildings. I went to Phillips Nizer, then Trump Org. Okay. Do you see Mr. Trump in court? There, blue suit, blue tie. How did you meet him? Through Don Jr. I handled a situation at Trump World Tower. I was asked to review documents about Trump Entertainment Resorts. We resolved it. I presented the $100,000 bill, and Mr. Trump said, "Do you want to work for me?" I was honored. I went over, and the bill to Phillips Nizer was never paid. Why didn't you see what the hell is that? That's not even part of the question. What was your salary? We arrived at a $375,000 base salary. Bonus was to be discussed. He gave me Ivanka's Oval Office on the 26th floor of Trump Tower. I was EVP and special counsel to Donald J. Trump. When was this? It's possible that he said when this was. It's likely he said when this was. It would be weird for him to be going on and on like this without saying that. I'm going to assume, and this is not passing any judgment on my good friend Matthew Lee of Inner City Press, that it's just a question that he didn't get down because there's just so much happening so fast. But I'm going to assume that he probably said when this was. I am very curious about that. What matters did you handle? Whatever he wanted. This is one of the things Michael Cohen loves portraying himself as this big time fixer. Oh, you got a problem, I'll fix it. It makes it sound very important, very special, very, 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 very powerful and effective human being. That's essentially how he likes to portray himself. And also, when you refer to yourself as being a fixer, ends up portraying your boss as being a mafia don. So, in this sense, it's beneficial to his agenda of trying to portray Orange Man bad by referring to himself as a fixer. People don't think of Mother Teresa as needing a fixer, right? Right? You tend not to think. People don't tend not to think of. I don't know. You tend not to think of any doctor working in an office as needing a fixer. Who needs a fixer? Somebody who is continually engaging in shady conduct needs a fixer. Sounds almost nefarious. Whatever he wanted. New Jersey golf course, you got it. Restaurant down in Soho, you got it. The funding was pulled by Governor Corzine. I don't know what that means. Did Mr. Trump ask you to renegotiate bills? Yes. For example, with law firms. Did you do that on the Trump University? Yes. It found some trouble. 50 vendors had not been paid. We had $2 million in the bank, but the bill's higher. I got all but 2 vendors to accept 20% of what they were owed. They signed and got checks FedEx in 48 hours. What about the other 2? They just went away. Mr. Trump told me, fantastic. I felt I was on top of the world. While at the Trump org, did you threaten to sue people? All the time. I was a grade A douchebag. Yes. There was a Miss USA contestant defaming. We brought in arbitration against her. It was resolved. With the press, I would reach out with their need to redact or take down, or we'd sue. Yeah, I've heard some of the audio clips of him on the phone. People saying, "You don't do this, we're gonna effing sue you. I'm gonna effing sue you into next week. You're gonna wake up in another time zone." Prosecution. Did you do personal work for him? Yes. The yellow cab hit his limo. I walked to the driver, got him to pay. Also, a bathroom overflow in his apartment. Did you deal with the press? I try to place stories and minimize negatives. Oh, he just sounds terrible. How often did you speak with Mr. Trump? Multiple times a day. How did you communicate? In person or by cell phone? That's it. I might call Rona or Keith Schiller his personal attaché, or Hope, which is a reference to Hope Hicks from his PR campaign. Did Mr. Trump use email? No, he didn't have an address. He told me too many people have gone down because of emails that prosecutors can use in a case. Objection. Where'd you meet him? In his office. He had an open door policy. Were you told to update him on matters? Yes, if you didn't immediately tell him, it would not go over well for you. Was he a micromanager? Yes, ma'am. I called him boss. There were great times for the most part. I enjoyed it. Did you lie for him? No. Yes. I mean, no. Yes. I bullied people too. I wanted to make him happy. Oh, it's all his fault that you basically were using your job to manifest your inferiority complex by bullying others. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So your insecurities, you basically got off on work and now blaming that's totally Trump's fault. Not that he told you to do it. You just decide you want to make him happy. So you decide to be a dirtbag to human beings. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Did you get additional titles? I was on the board of Miss Universe. I was treasurer at some of the properties. Some call you his fixer. Yes. Who's some? Yeah, he calls himself his fixer. some. Yeah, I guess if you consider him multiple people, which I can understand that mistake. Some call you his fixer. Yeah, that was accurate. Did you use cell phones ending in 6886 or 666? Satan. And 0114, the latter still in use. Yes. Did our office ask you for 2 cell phones? Yes, I provided them in January 2023. Did you ask him whether that's a violation of attorney-client privilege for you to actually share that? The Reading of the Night was the best bedtime story ever. Also, Let's Go sucks. No refund for me, please. Keep up the fight. I don't know why he wants a refund from me. Why would you want a refund, Let's Go? What did I ever do to you? I don't know why it is that he wants a refund. It makes me feel bad. Bill RPP over in Rumblebrand says, Joe, Sean's gonna... What? Is that the right one? Sean's gonna come? You thought I forgot? I don't know what that means. I went over my head. Fortunately, it's cleaner that way. I take that personally, sir. I'm a paralegal for a personal injury lawyer. He's a very good lawyer and a great man. So uncalled for. I didn't say all of them. I'm sure there's more than one out there who's a great person, good person. I'm going to tell you right now, first person I learned law from, James Gear, personal injury attorney. I spent like a couple of months doing some per diem work for them. And I will tell you, great attorney, really good at his job. Smart guy, taught me a lot. So I certainly wasn't implying offense. I'm simply saying reality is that they get sneered at by other attorneys. And they sneer, by the way, at landlord-tenant attorneys. They do. They sneer at landlord-tenant attorneys. The reason for the arrogance of other attorneys is because it's really snobbery. That's what it is. That's really what it is ultimately. It's snobbery. I mean, they're known as ambulance chasers, like that they portray the reputations that they portray. I'll give you another example, by the way, of a personal injury attorney that I know who's a great guy. So it certainly wasn't limiting it to my friend who lives around the corner from me. I was simply saying he's one I know, but he's not considered the norm amongst personal injury attorneys. I'll tell you right now, Attorney Tom, great guy, great attorney. I love Attorney Tom. He's phenomenal. The dude is very smart, really good attorney, really good person, and phenomenal personality. Hell's freezing over. Biden admitted to Ashley's diary, and here we are watching Trump being burned at the stake for political gain. Yep, indeed. Let's go weiter. Prosecutor, did you use cell phones? Oh, got this. Okay. Did you sync your contacts with his? Yes, the IT people did it. I had over 30,000 contacts in my phone. Do you know David Pecker? Yes, I knew him before I knew Mr. Trump. By the way, one of the reasons to ask this whole thing as far as syncing his contacts, it does help establish just how intimately he knows, Trump brought him into his circle. This is designed to bolster his credibility that he had access, that he had he wasn't just, Trump's had thousands of lawyers probably, but he was a different level relationship than probably most of his other attorneys. Did you know David Pecker? He knows lots of Peckers. Yes, I know him because he was in jail. So what do you want? No offense to David Pecker. Yes, I knew him before I knew Mr. Trump. I met him on Long Island. Later, we spoke by Signal. Did you contact Mr. Pecker before 2015? Yes, like when Mr. Trump gave money to Harlem for Hoops. This is weird that they had him admit this. Harlem for Hoops is like a charity. Pretty sure. Pretty sure it is. Harlem for Hoops. That's gotta be a charity, right? Well, there you go. Terrible man. Terribly racist. 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 Fascist. Racist. 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 Jew-hating racist. Homophobe. This is why I'm shocked that they had him admit this. Trying to get a good... Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh, he didn't really care about the kids. No, he just wanted to get a good story out. That's why they did it like this. Oh. I don't know why it is I assume that they're actually trying to give like a fair shake to his character. No, even when he does good things, he's a scummy human being who's just doing it for PR. That's the only reason he does it. He's just doing it for PR. What a terrible, terrible racist. He would write a note in the memo there, which he basically said, F black people. And get the juice. Unbelievable. New member, Crow Minion. Nice. 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 Welcome to the following. Not at all a cult. Type of cult. Not the leader of the following. No spaceships. No Kool-Aid. Prosecutor, did you know Dylan Howard? He worked for Mr. Pecker like I for Mr. Trump. In 2011, was Mr. Trump exploring a run for president? Yes, I saw a poll that 6% thought Mr. Trump should run for president. I created a website, shouldtrumprun.com. Many came to the site. Did he run to 2011? No. There was a seasoned apprentice coming up. Like he told me, you don't leave Hollywood, Hollywood leaves you. But he told me in 2011 he would do it the next time, and he did. Your role? A surrogate. Oh, that's what, in your dreams. In your dreams. Oh, he didn't mean that kind of surrogate. Okay. Did you make an... I wouldn't be surprised if, it looks like his womb is exploding, but apparently he probably meant a different kind of surrogate. Did you make appearance for his campaign? Yes, MSNBC, CNN. I provided comment. Watching the rallies, I noticed it was very white, so I started a group, National Diversity Coalition for Trump, with Darrell Scott and Evangelical from Cleveland. Oh, yeah, because he's such a racist. Only the racist KKK voted for him. It was really weird in the first election how he got 70 million KKK people to come out and vote for him against Hillary. Did you meet with Mr. Pecker and Mr. Trump? Yes, about the power of the National Enquirer with its space in grocery stores and bodegas. If you're not familiar with what a bodega is, New York, in New York, we don't have just think of it as being a convenience store in the middle of a street. It's basically what we call it. We don't call them convenience stores in New York. We call them bodegas. Probably because there's so many Asian people there. I'm almost positive the word bodegas it has an Asian origin to it. Mr. Pecker said he would keep an eye out for anything negative and he could help us try to stop it. Did the National Enquirer preview stories for you? Yes. For example, Hillary Clinton wearing thick glasses, allegations she had a brain injury. Oh, you see, look at this. He's such a it's like so. What a slimy person. This dude is such human slime. Such human slime. Who do you think is pushing him into this? Who's pushing him? Who's pushing him? But it's like, oh yeah, he wanted to run these fake stories on Hillary Clinton because Hillary Clinton's campaign, Steele dossier aside, was just a bastion of integrity. All she cared about was helping the people and stopping the deplorables from taking over. Ted Cruz's father was with Oswald. Marco Rubio in a pool with a bunch of other men. Claim of drug binge. Yeah. Whose idea was that? Trump said, fantastic. Oh, so it was his idea. Because he's a slimy, slimy, slimy dude. He's a slimy, slimy, scummy dude. That's what he is. I don't even think he realizes how scummy he comes across. Yeah, I guess if you have TDS, you're interpreting it the way he wants it to. And let's be fair, good chance that at least a handful on this jury do have TDS. What's this? An email with what's this? An email with AMI in October 2015. Barry Levine said we were repackaging positive material about Donald. I wrote back, quote, yes, take out the part on the penthouse pet, Sandra. Let's try and portray him as being this constantly philandering schmuck. That's why he's throwing this in here. Every line in here, just so you're aware, is reviewed beforehand. I'm sure he practiced this testimony multiple times with this attorney, and they try figuring out how do you frame this in a way to make him seem as detestable as possible. There should be objections to like, how is this relevant? I mean, I guess the AMI story, that's that actually might be relevant, to be fair. To be fair, that probably would be overruled. Destiny Gal, becoming a YouTube member. Welcome aboard, Destiny Gal. Welcome to the following. We're very excited to have you here. Please be aware, I'm not the leader of the following. I'm just a follower, just like you. Not the leader. Say it with me. Joe is not the leader of the following. See, we say it twice that we're very super duper clear. That I'm not the leader of the following. Some people would say it just once. I say it twice just to emphasize. I am not the leader of the following. Hopefully that was crystal clear to everybody. All right. It was in January 6th, 2016. January 6th, 2016. 5 years before the January 6th. And the article ran a week later. Donald Trump, nobody knows. In the doorman story, yes, there was a love child. I asked Mr. Trump what he wanted me to do. It involved 2 employees of the Trump org. The life rights to the story, AMI bought them from the doorman. What terms? $30,000 to not publish the story, take it off the market. Did you tell them Mr. Trump would be grateful? Absolutely. I reviewed the deal. Okay. Put up People's 165 in evidence. Email from Dylan Howard. Now, here's the thing. He was also doing this for him. We don't know how long he was working. I do think that's important to know how long he was working for him. David Becker was saying he was doing this since 2011. He wasn't running when he wasn't running for election. which Michael Cohen says he wasn't running for election in 2011. He was doing it back then also. So why this is we'll see what he says here. I'm sure he's going to try and find. Listen. Let's call a spade here. Okay, this attorneys, as gross as they may be, and at times incompetent. Let's not assume that they're stupid. They have to know that the strongest defense Trump has is the hush money payment to Stormy Daniels was to keep her quiet from the wife or for his PR for his business and having nothing to do with the election. That's the strongest defense, the easiest defense he has. That's the one area that they really need to nail down. I would be surprised if Michael Cohen does not get up on the stand, admitted perjurer that he is, and claim that Trump expressly told him that he has to do this for the campaign, that he has to silence Stormy for the campaign. I would not be remotely surprised. In fact, I'd be moderately surprised if he doesn't expressly say it. I have not yet reviewed this, so I don't know what I'm reading this for the first time with you fine people. So I don't know that's what he said. I would be shocked because otherwise they know they have like this, that this really should be dismissed by the court if we're being fair about it. Which, you know my opinion on Judge Merchan. Beyond reproach. Put up People's 165 in evidence email from Dylan Howard about the addendum. And this is the addendum or amendment. Did you tell Mr. Trump? Yes, to get credit, for him to know I got put in. He said, that's great. Because that's what slimy people like Michael Cohen are all about. Never do anything like to actually, for anything other than self-interest. Everything's about self-interest. He's a fixer. That's one area. I think if I was doing this cross, I think I might even start with that. You're a survivor. That's what a fixer is. You know how to make things survive, flourish. You're a survivor. And you're all about self-interest, ultimately. That's what survivors are. They look out for themselves. And you make a great deal of money bashing him. And if he goes to prison and you help put him there, you'll probably make a lot more money, won't you? I don't know. In June 2016, did you become aware of Karen McDouglas? Probably McDouglas. That's probably. I'm going to assume that that's Inner City Press's autocorrect. Yes, from AMI, I told Mr. Trump, did he know who Karen McDougal was? He said, she's really beautiful. Did you draw any conclusions? Objection sustained. Draw any conclusion? The objection here is it's calling for speculation. So, good objection there, Todd Blanche. No, with Blanche making the objection to Cohen's direct examination, it seems he and not Bover nationalists will be cross-examining Cohen. Yeah, that's true. Good call there. See, that's an attorney reading the room. Did you use Signal for this? Yes, to stay private. Did you update Mr. Trump? Yes. These texts. Dylan wrote to me, I'm about to meet her, Karen McDougal. What did they then tell you? That they believe they had it under control. I'll get this locked down for you. I won't let it out of my grasp. Did you witness talks between Mr. Trump and Mr. Pecker? I was in his office. He used a speaker box. David Pecker said, we'll take care of this. Were their costs discussed? He said $150,000. Trump said, I'll take care of it. And this, Dylan Howard told me they rejected the offer. I implored my guy to get it done, not let her take it to ABC. But AMI got the deal. What was it? $150,000 as well as 24 penned articles in her name and 2 covers. I don't know what the 24. I don't know what this means. 24 penned articles. I thought they're trying to silence the story. Oh, maybe she's printing for AMI for National Enquirer. I don't know. 2 covers on the National Enquirer. Did Keith Davidson reach out to you? Yes. I deal with him in 2011 about Stormy Daniels on thedirty.com. She wanted a story taken down. It was on Karen McDougal. David Pecker wanted the 150,000 back. Oh, so he was with him since at least 2011. That is a long time. I can't wait to read the cross on this. David Cohen, David Pecker wanted to get paid back. I met him at his favorite Italian restaurant. He had a bottle of red. I had a bottle of white. I guess it all depends upon your appetite. He insisted he needed to get the money back. Mr. Trump told me I'll take care of it. Did you have other worries? Pecker was mulling leaving AMI had files. So Pecker was from AMI again. AMI, in case you haven't been following this that closely, AMI is the corporate name for National Enquirer. And Pecker was basically running that show. Did you tape a conversation you had with Mr. Trump about Karen McDougal? I did, to show David Pecker that Mr. Trump was going to pay him. I'll pay him back. I put my phone on voice memo and walked into Mr. Trump's office. Was he aware? No. This is totally what? You're recording your client without telling him, sharing it with the prosecutor. Scummy, 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 dirtbag, jackass, scummy. Everything wrong with attorneys you can see personified by Michael Cohen. Let's play the audio. September 6, 2016. Who's on it? Mr. Trump, me, Ronna Graff. We started about a property in Charleston and divorce matters. Let me see if I can pull this up. Sometimes Adam Classfeld is very good at getting. I don't really love his coverage much, but sometimes he's very good at getting. Adam. There we go. Sometimes he's good about getting exhibits. Should Donald Trump run for president thing? Okay. What? All of a sudden now he's over. I don't know where the rest of this goes. What happened to you? That's not good. All right, let me see if I can find it here. Today's 5/13. Those are transcripts. That's the wrong one. This is the one. Defense. Nope, not defense. People. Really? This is people's exhibits. But it only comes up to May 9th. So it's not. Let me see if there's anything here showing from Classfeld if there's another thing from him. Is there another chain from you, Adam? He's much harder to follow his threads. Was this it? No, this ends here. This is the email. So like I said, he can be really good at giving giving exhibits, like really good, which is so hard to do when you're sitting there. It's very hard to just dig these things up on the fly, and I give him a lot of credit for that. A lot of credit. It requires some good organizational skills. He must be working with a laptop instead of his phone. And yeah, no, I give him a lot of credit for that. But following his thread here, Adam, how do we find like the rest of this? Is this a new thread? This looks like a new thread. Confused, Adam. You're confusing me. Jurors are attentive. The tennis match dynamic is fully visible from the gallery. Their eyes dart to Prosecutor Hoffinger as he asks questions and to Cohen when he answers them. Hit the screens when there's evidence review. McDougal. Trying to find what he's this part here. What was I up to over here with Inner City Press? Inner City Press. This is the audio clip. That's what I really want. There we go. Listen to it here. Tape recorded conversation previously entered into evidence. Here we go. I knew I could see. I figured if I was persistent, I'd find it eventually. I'm supposed to find it here. That's not good. Is that downloading? Hold on a second. I might have just downloaded it 19 times. Yep, it did. This is a recorded conversation. Recorded conversation that when Cohen illicitly and arguably illegally recorded his client, Donald Trump.
Oh. Maybe because of this, it would be better if you didn't go, maybe because of this, for that one, I think what you should do is get rid of this because it's so false what they're saying. It's such bullshit. I think this goes away quickly. I think it's probably better. Do the Charleston thing, just this time. Yeah, in 2 weeks it's fine. I think right now it's better. Okay, honey. You take care of yourself. Thanks, Pam. Yep, I'm proud of you. So what's up, Mike?
Great poll, by the way.
Yeah.
Seen it. Great poll.
Making progress.
Big time.
And you guys are good guy.
Oh, Pastor Scott?
No, Pastor Scott. What's happening?
Oh, no. He's.
Can we use him anymore?
Oh, yeah. 100. No, you're talking about Mark Burns. We told him to.
I don't mean that. Mark Burns. Can we use him?
No.
Richard Lefrak, I'm sorry, Richard Lefrak just called. We didn't have a chance. He had an idea for you.
Okay. So we got served from the New York Times. I told you this regarding to unseal the divorce papers with Ivana. we're fighting it. Kaslowitz is going
You
to
should never be able to get that.
never. Kaslowitz doesn't. They'll ever be able. They don't have a.
Give me a Coke, please.
They don't have a legitimate purpose.
And you
So
have a woman that doesn't want it.
correct.
So
So
you've been handling it.
yes, and it's
That's
all
been going on for a while.
for about 2-3 weeks now.
All you have to do is delay it for.
Even after that, it's not going to ever be opened. There's no purpose for it. Told you about Charleston. I need to open up a company for the transfer of all of that info regarding our friend David, so that I'm going to do that right.
It's the payment, David Pecker. So Matt Cohen now is saying that the transfer for David Pecker, that you have to open up the transfer. This is the key part as to why, at least purportedly, why it is that this recording is being played now.
Transfer of all of that info regarding our friend David, so that I'm going to do that right away. I've actually come up and
Give it to me.
I've spoken to Alan Weisselberg about how to set the whole thing up with
So what are we going to pay?
funding. Yes, and it's all the
Yeah, I was
stuff,
thinking about that.
all the stuff, because you never know where that company, you never know where he's going to
Maybe
be.
gets hit by a-
Correct. So I'm all over that. And I spoke to Alan about it when it comes time for the financing, which will be,
Listen, what finance?
we'll have to pay you.
Don't
So
pay for cash.
no. I got no. Hey, Don, how are you?
That's weird at the end there, wasn't it? What was that? What was that? You heard that at the end?
Pay you. So
Don't pay for cash.
no. I got no. Hey, Don, how are you?
What's that? I don't know what to make out of that, other than that Trump said to pay cash, which I don't know why that's an issue, but okay. All right. Apparently that's the prosecutor thinks that's helpful. Kathy, my realtor in New Jersey. Objection. Bella Stella hitting 20. Phantom 20. Good Lawgic memberships. Who do we have? Well, who do we have here? Let's see who we got. Let's see who Bella managed to bring in. Bella and Master Phillips are two leaders of recruitment here for the following. Two of our heads of recruitment. I think they're my joint heads of recruitment right now. Bella Stella and Master Phillips. Unbelievable recruiting by these two. Phenomenal. Why don't I see it? I don't know why I don't see it here. Here it is. Bella Stella. You know who Bella Stella brought into the fold? You want to know who she... Fellow followers. You want to know what new followers were brought into the fold courtesy of co-head of recruitment, Bella Stella? We got Ken, Annie. That's right. Welcome aboard, Annie. Shallow Mang. Never heard of Shiloh Mang, never heard of her at all, but welcome to the following. I'm going to have to give you a special introduction to the following because, I think you probably just stumbled on this channel yesterday. Danielle Jones, Deanna Scholler, Double Agent 205. Nice. He even gave a little nice as soon as it happened. He's like, yeah, cha-ching. Carpe Diem, Adelion. Loch Ness Monster, DD, Kiwi Cal. Look at that. Kiwi Cal gifted a membership by Bella Stella. Waffle Ganger, Helene T, Chris Phi, Pam, Run, Pam. Pam, gifted courtesy of Bella Stella. Look at the love being spread amongst the OG. An amazing disgrace, as well as Evelyn Cox, Chris Gaz, Binky Babe, and Suzanne Danielle, all of you, welcome to the following. The following is not at all a cult type of cult. There are no spaceships, no Kool-Aid, no track suits that are mandatory model farm work, no goat sacrifices, no squirrel mutilations, no dancing around bonfires in the middle of a forest to the beat of a steady tom-tom. No self-harm, no harming others, no stabbing yourself with the jabby jab. Because we don't like stabbing ourselves with the jabby jab. No smearing blood on the walls. No throwing virgins into volcanoes. For crying out loud, stop with thinking that has anything to do with the following. No, the following is about personal growth. That's it. Personal growth. Community, unity, leadership training. Personal growth, community, unity, leadership training. It's very simple, okay? Nothing to do with any sort of no one's taking you off to Uranus. Nobody's gonna be collecting you and taking you to the greater spiritual light of things. No. I know this not because I'm the leader of the following, as everyone knows, I'm very much not the leader of the following. Very much not the leader of the following. I'm just a host. I'm what they call the face of the franchise because I'm basically the cheapest one they could afford. So there you go. Welcome aboard. Thank you, Bella Stella. I'll give you another one of these because I feel like I shortchanged you the other night. And I had the whole thing going on. I had lots of things going on. And I was like, I really don't want to blow the flow up. So that's why I gave you the double horn there. Robert Gouvet Esquire had same issue earlier. It seemed weird to him too. I don't know what's going on. But at least I'm in good company with Robert Gouvet. You're a handsome man. Your wife is lucky. Oh, thank you, Gabby. Thank you very, very much. Well, I should be paying you. Our friend David. Cohen sounds just like he watched the movie Donnie Brasco. He really thinks he's some kind of mob fixer. It's so true. Hey, Don, how are you? Get me a Coke. I don't think he was talking to my Cohen with that. Get me a Coke. That's pretty funny. All right, let's go forward here. So it was Trump, him, and Ron and Graff. We started about a property in Charleston divorce matters. Audio plays, Trump saying, uh-oh, it's such BS. Cohen, great call, big time. Then Rona. Then an audio. I need to open a company regarding a friend. I spoke to Alan. We heard all this. All right. Fine. Why open a company? To have separations, keep it away from Mr. Trump. What did all this stuff mean? Pecker's drawer. All right, we're going to avoid any juvenile comment. I don't want to hear it. Mr. Trump said pay in cash. Yes. Ooh, he's a criminal. He pays in cash. He's like a mob boss with a fixer. All right, Judge Merchant says we'll break 50 minutes. 50. Sorry, not 50. 15 minutes. And I do recommend that you support Inner City Press, as he's awesome, as you've heard me say many a time, and I'll probably feel that way for the foreseeable future, because he seems pretty awesome. They're back. Justice Merchant, I usually tell the jury the tape is the evidence. The transcript is not the evidence. We'd like that. Now, would make sense. Let's bring the witness back, then the jury. Jury entering. The tape is the evidence. The transcript is only an aid. The recording cut off. Whose voice? My voice. I received an incoming phone call. Your recording stopped. Why'd you take it? I had enough. Enough of what? What does that mean? What is the agenda here? I'm so confused by this. I'm sure there's an answer to that question. If he doesn't give it on direct, I'm sure we'll hear it on cross. Have you reviewed this AT&T record showing an incoming call to 0114 when the recording cut off? Yes. Was it from Capital One Bank? Yes. Was there a long conversation after? Yes. I mean, no. Admitted perjurer, Michael Cohen, gets back on the stand, asked the question, was there a long conversation after that? Yes, I mean, no. Admitted perjurer on the stand. Yes, and when I say yes, I very clearly mean no. This is the guy that the case is hanging on. Yes, I mean no. Yeah, I guess if the question was like, are you sure when you said no that you really meant no? Yes, I mean no. Maybe. I don't know. Things get lost in the transcript. It's possible that's how it came out. Did you ever alter this recording? No. They make it sound as if this recording is like some smoking gun. What did Alan Weisselberg say? That paying with a check from a Trump entity would defeat the purpose of keeping it separate. Well, that could explain it. So there you go. What's this? Signal from Dan Rothstein. I think it's Rothstein. I think it's Rothstein. I think he's missing an H here. What company did you set up? Resolution Associates LLC. Did you intend to yourself buy the McDougal life rights? No, I was doing it for the benefit of Mr. Trump. Did Resolution pay? No. Why? The cover Men's Health with Kyra McDougal on it made more money than they thought, so they needed the money from. They didn't need the money from us. He said, "Rip up the assignment of rights contract." What did Trump say? He said, "Great." Well, there you go. Where were you when the Access Hollywood tape was released? I was in London. My daughter's 21st birthday and my anniversary. Did Steve Bannon email you? Yes, and to Jason Miller. Inner City Press is working on this on a separate thread. The story with Jason Miller says Delgado sues Trump campaign over West Wing job. Subpoena Fox included on Miller quashed. All right, I'm not sure what that's about. Who are these texts with? These are between me and Chris Cuomo, then at CNN. Subpoena quashed as Delgado sues Trump over West Wing job. Her subpoena Fox is quashed. Order here. On May 13th, Arlene Delgado's subpoena to Fox, including about Jason Miller and the Trump campaign, was quashed. So wait, it was exactly 6 years ago? When is this? When they say May 13th? It's today. Oh. This is my confusion. I apologize. You got me, Matt. You got me. Everything I said about him being a good guy, I take that back totally. This was today's thing. I was very confused. This is the link that he was including here. This link is down here. So let's get back on page. Let's ignore everything up over here. Ignore all this. Let's just focus this on this part here. And I apologize for my own stupidity. Prosecutor, who are these texts with between me and Chris Cuomo, then at CNN? I told Cuomo I had requests to do media when I got back from London. He told me that would be too late. He was dying right now. Who's he? Donald Trump. What's this? Oh, he was dying. I guess this is the Access Hollywood tape that came out. What's this? Email about the old radar story, Playboy Man. Maybe Classwell can help clear this up with his. I want to see. This is the transcript. That's not part of the record. This is a transcript of the phone call. Okay. I'm trying to see if I can find this. It's Daniel Rothstein. Prosecutor says the invoice doesn't reference the McDougal hush money, but rather a flat fee for so-called advisory services. Doesn't say AM Lobby, it says another company. It was clearly a separation in order to mask the transaction. Yeah, clearly, obviously, 100%. Trust me, I would never lie to you. It's questioning the Hollywood OPIC's now infamous reaction. Deny, deny, deny. Bannon said, please call me. Here we go. Here's the he's dying right now. Chris Cuomo, you're going to defend him? I'm in London. I've been asked by everyone to do shows starting Tuesday. So then he says, not sure what I'll do. That's what Mike Cohen says. And then Cuomo says, we'll be too late. He's dying right now. Also, in the wake of the Access Hollywood tape, Cohen says he pushed to take down an old story on Radar online. The only story was this posted in October 2008 before AMI owned it, the old Radar magazine. The tape was not as part of the story that existed online. I suggest it would have been lost during the many site changes over the years. Nevertheless, I deleted the text story completely. It no longer exists. Cohen thought the tape could have a catastrophic impact, that it was horrible for the campaign. All right, let's go back here. What did you do? I got Dylan Howard to have it taken down. AMI now owned Radar. I told Mr. Trump so he'd give me credit. Oh my God. Such a loser. I did good, didn't I, Daddy? I did really, really good, Daddy. Don't you like what I did, Daddy? See what I did, Daddy? Give me credit. Tell me I'm a good boy, Daddy. Loser. Beta. Sorry. Did you have a conversation with Trump about Stormy Daniels? Yes, I relayed what Dylan Howard said. I told him we need to take care of this. He said, absolutely do it. What did he tell you about 2006? That he was playing golf with Big Ben and met Stormy, that she liked Mr. Trump over Big Ben. Did you ask if they had sex? I did. Did he answer directly? No. What did he say? That she was beautiful. Okay. Did you speak to Life and Style In Touch? Yes, the In Touch did not come out. I spoke to Mr. Trump and credited Keith Davidson. Jumping forward to 2016, had you heard any more about Stormy Daniels? Nothing. Did you learn if anyone was representing Stormy Daniels? Keith Davidson. Let's look at text. I said we use Resolution Trust. Here, Dylan Howard wrote to me and Keith connecting us about the business opportunity. What business opportunity? The acquisition of the life rights of the story of Stormy Daniels. Mr. Trump was angry, said he thought he had it done. What did Trump say about Stormy Daniels' story? He said, men might think it's cool, but women are going to hate me. He told me, get control over it. This is the line. You see? See? This is what they wanted. This is what he wanted. This is what the DA wanted. This is where he wants to say, see, it was all about the campaign. Men might think it's cool. Women are going to hate me. He told me, get control over it. Still don't know that has nothing to do with his PR. That's about election. And his general PR, although they'll probably say that he didn't care about coming out after the election. That's probably what they're going to say next. Did you two discuss strategy? He told me to work with David. Mr. Trump told me, push it out past the... there you go. There we go. This is why they want him on the stand. This phrase right here. Mr. Trump told me, push it out past the election. If I win, it's not a problem. If I lose, I don't care. I asked how things would go down with Melania. Isn't this so freaking convenient that he asked that question? To rule out that it's about the wife? Isn't that so convenient that that admitted perjurer, Michael Cohen, happened to ask him about Melania? We don't ever hear Melania's name anywhere in this testimony. The one time, the whole Karen McDougal story, we don't hear about it. No, not at all. The stuff with the radar story, no. You want to know the one time that he brought up Melania's name to Donald Trump, the only time, as far as we know, he ever mentioned Melania's name, it's over here where he needs to establish, all the way back in 2016, where he's trying to firmly establish that the reason this money is being paid is for campaign purposes and not for Melania. You friggin' liar. Liar! Total liar. The most convenient conversation in the world. Oh, what a convenient conversation. Oh, what a friggin' convenient conversation. I never mentioned Melania before, but all of a sudden, this is when he tells me, he gives me the down dirty that, hey, if Melania dumps me, I'll just pick up another chick. How long do you think I'll be on the market for? Because I'm Mr. Studley here. Yeah, you know what? This plays really well to a bunch of TDS sufferers who are like, he doesn't love Melania. She's just a showpiece for him. He just replaced her in 2 seconds. This is exactly what this is. That he throws out this whole stupid, obviously fabricated quote from Michael Cohen. I'm telling you now, the dude is a freaking crazy liar. He's a liar. This is the most ridiculous. This is as ridiculous as Stormy saying he was posing on the bed in just his boxers. So stupid. So stupid. But this is why Cohen is their star witness. Because this is designed. This is, if the jury buys this, that's the smoking gun. That's it. You wonder what the smoking gun is? That's it right there. That's what these two together. This together with, he said, men might think it's cool, women are going to hate me, and then, oh, I don't care about Melania. He also probably said, oh, I don't care about The Apprentice. This is all about the election. Such a convenient conversation that they happen to have. Where's your illegal recording on this one? On this one, Mikey. Unbelievable. What's this about the sideline agreement? Also, they list who else had been told about the story. My instructions were just to push it past the election. Of course. There we go. There you go. There you go. Oh, we're gonna get all the bells and whistles here. I told you. What did I tell you? I told you. Just get it past the election. What was Keith Davidson complaining about? I said I needed 10 days. A little break for lunch. And they're back. Can we get the witness? Or at least the fabricator. Trump is asking animatedly if Tom Blanche still lead counsel chair at defense table. Coming back on the stand. Get the jury, please. What is your reply to Keith Davidson here? I told him the office was closed for Yom Kippur. I was trying to delay until after the election when it wouldn't matter. Yeah, of course you would. Of course you would. What was Mr. Trump doing? Campaigning on his private plane. Then what? I emailed Gary Farrow at First Republic Bank. I sent him the corporate documents for Resolution Consultants, LLC. Why? In the event of a need for an account to transfer funds. What did you say Resolution Consultants was for? I said business consulting on marketing. All of his clients are the U.S. And NAICS code, management consulting, including HR and marketing. Was that truthful? No, because I never can tell the truth ever. I don't even know what the truth is. Right now, I'll tell you that during the course of this testimony, I've been going back and forth between being male and female because I'm non-binary. Hopefully that makes me more credible with the jury when I say something like that. Unbelievable, this dude. Why did you change the name? Resolution Consulting was the name of the company of a friend of mine out of state, so I switched to Essential Consulting LCC. And this email, Keith Davidson wrote to say, if no funds today, the settlement contract is over. Then he wrote, my client considers it void ab initio. Ab initio is a lawyer phrase. It's Latin for from its initiation, from the outset, from the get-go. So it's void as if it never happened. We were losing control. Dylan Howard told me Stormy Daniels was going to the Daily Mail. Then Dylan Howard told me that Keith Davidson had stopped taking his calls. Did you call Mr. Trump? I did, to tell him that my due to failure to wire funds, she was going to the Daily Mail. but the call was only 8 seconds. I received a voicemail. Oh, sorry, I left a voicemail. Then I canceled resolution and set up Essential Consultants LLC. Then what? Melania texted me to call DT, and I did. Did you go to CNN's Wolf Blisser? Yes, I issued denial and exclamations that I never seen him in that manner, and also had talking points from the campaign. The Daily Mail was in play. Then Mr. Trump told me smart individuals told him pay the $130,000. He told me to go talk with Alan Weisselberg. I did. Alan asked, why can't AMI pay for it? They wouldn't. Why not use one of the golf courses? But they're Trump courses. Did you ask Mr. Weisselberg if he'd pay? Objection. Overruled. Do you know why? Do you know why he's objecting? Because this is asking him for hearsay. It's an out-of-court statement as to what Weisselberg supposedly said. He said he had 4 grandchildren in prep school and summer camps, so I did it. Mr. Trump told me, don't worry, you'll get it back. Are these calls he made with Mr. Weisselberg? Yes, it had to do with Stormy Daniels. There was significant urgency. At First Republic, I had a HELOC on my apartment. I figured I'd use that instead of our bank account. My wife would have asked. Did you ever call with Dylan Howard and David Pecker? Yes, I asked Mr. Pecker if he'd do it. He said not a chance, that he hasn't been repaid the $150,000, even though that turned out it could cost me my job, so I did it. Pam says, Bella Stella, you're the best. Oh, hi, Joe. And Squeezka 2322 says, someone so eager, please, someone who would take the initiative to do something like pay off ST without asking Trump. Yeah, it's true. Good point. We wish Cohen was void ab initio. Amen, Nathan. Now let me check up over here, make sure I haven't missed anything in the ghetto. In the ghetto. Just looking at you, ghetto. Quiet in the ghetto. RPP needs beer. Pause and check over here. Oh, there's Lundo. Diggers being diggers. Diggers being they actually are following along, I think. All right. Do you recognize this Know Your Customer form? I do. It says Essential Consultants. It's a real estate related company. Was it true or false? False. Or true? No, I come back to false. What's this? I forwarded First Republic's transfer to Keith. What's this? Dylan Howard laid out the terms of the deal payment by Thursday. This is the wire transfer authorization. What's the stated purpose? It says retained. It's not truthful. I'm truthful. The documents that you see here in hard writing, that's not truthful. Believe me, admitted perjurer Michael Cohen. Documents lie. I only tell the truth. It was not a retainer. It was for life rights to the story, damages of $1 million per violation. Did you tell Mr. Trump? Yes, to take credit. This was important. So he didn't approve it? He didn't approve it beforehand? Did Mr. Trump sign this agreement anywhere? No, I did. Who is ID'd as David Dennison in the side letter? Donald Trump. On November 4, 2016, did the Wall Street Journal publish about AMI paying off Karen McDougal with a story of Stormy Daniels? Yes, I discussed it with Hope Hicks. She said blame Clinton. Oh, because Trump's a big fat liar. He's always blaming Clinton. He's full of crap. I'm the one telling the truth all the time. Did you express anger to Keith Davidson? I did. I told him Mr. Trump would be very upset with him. Objection sustained. Oh, late there. Did you speak with Dylan Howard? I did. Did Keith Schiller text you to ask if you could speak in 30 minutes? Yes. Then I spoke with Mr. Trump for 5 minutes and 55 seconds. He was angry. We'll take a break. And they're back. What are these November 5th, 2016 texts? I told Hope Hicks I see only 6 stories getting little to no traction. She replied, keep praying. Did Mr. Trump win the election? Yes. Were you offered the role of Assistant General Counsel? Yes. But you were not offered Chief of Staff. Thank God. Oh my God. I was not, and it bothered me I wasn't considered, so I pitched for personal attorney to the president. It would open doors. Companies wanted to understand President Trump, and they would pay me for that. Looking at the jury. Companies wanted to understand President Trump, and they would pay me for that. Did you tell your family? Yes. What are these? My text with my daughter. My daughter was at UPenn. I told the opportunities would be hybrid. I could monetize my access, and everyone knows I'm always looking out for number one. And F everybody else. Did you get the position? Yes. Did you usually get bonuses in December? Yes. Rona gave it to me. I was angry. He cut my bonus by 2/3 and still hadn't repaid me the $130,000. It was insulting. I used expletives to Mr. Weisselberg. I was, even for myself, unusually angry. He said, take it easy. I told David Pecker too, because I'm a big fat blabbermouth and I have to whine to anyone I know about any problems I have in my life. Did I tell you about how my wife is cheating on me? Did Mr. Trump call you? Yes. Did you then meet with Mr. Weisselberg about the repayment of the $130,000? Yes. I showed him the First Republic documents and wrote on it, plus $50,000 paid to Red Finch for tech services on another matter. Mr. Weisberg said he would gross it up since I'd be taking it as income. Did he pay Red Finch? No, I paid them. I know the CEO of Red Finch. He said he bought the IP addresses. I needed him for other things I was working on. There was also $60,000 additional bonus, so $420,000. We went to Mr. Trump's office. There, Mr. Weisberg said, we'll pay you monthly, like a legal payment, since I'd be special attorney to Trump. The payments would start in February. Now, this is important. Trump's claim is that he got $130,000 as attorney. He never paid back this money. That's part of his defense. One argument he makes is, you're saying I should have recorded this as the state is saying that we should record this as election donations. Because let's understand, you need to understand the premise of the case here. Okay? Let's understand the premise of the case here. New York Penal Code 17510, which he's charged with 34 counts of violation of that, is falsifying business records and the business for the purposes of concealing a crime. The crime is supposedly election fraud, which is a federal statute. It's weird that you're using a New York State falsifying business records to commit a crime. The commit a crime part, we call that crime, whatever it is called the predicate crime. That's the underlying crime. If there is no crime, falsifying business records would not, you're not in violation 17510. It's only a violation if there's a predicate crime. This other side crime. What is the side crime here? That predicate crime. That's this federal election law. It's weird that the predicate crime is not a state law violation. That's what it's always been used for. This is the first time that anyone can find that a prosecutor has tried using 17510 where the predicate crime is a federal law, not a state law. But it's Donald Trump, and clearly we have to go after him any way we possibly can so we can get our name in bright lights and because Orange Man bad. Now, let's talk more about this crime. What's that crime? The crime is supposedly that he spent $130,000 towards benefiting his election and did not report it as a donation to his election. So he's concealing donations into his election funds. That's the predicate crime, which is apparently something that the Southern District of New York, when they looked through all the records, they're like, there's no crime here. That's why they didn't charge him. We can't prove that this has anything to do with that there's monies paid here for the purposes of benefiting his campaign. What did Trump's lawyers say in opening statement? One of the things they said is he didn't pay him any money. If Michael Cohen advanced $130,000, none of the monies that Trump gave to Cohen had to do with that $130,000 payment to Stormy. It was part of his compensation, which you can't count that as an election donation because it's his personal attorney. So that's why when we're looking at these payments here and the excess money that he's giving him, is that $130,000 that's designed to pay him back the money that Cohen claims to have advanced, and there's documentation to show that he advanced? Or is it just part of his bonus? That's the question. That's the question. So that's why these numbers and what's happening here with these payments becomes very important. Because in theory, if it's just part of his regular payments, then it's not a campaign donation to hide Stormy the Stormy story away. Another defense that's raised is even if he did pay that money for this, it's not even if you pay the money to pay back Michael Cohen for 130, even if you buy that, and then it wasn't part of his bonus. Well, question is, why is he hiding this story? And if it's to keep it from his wife, or to maintain his PR the way he had been for years before he ever was running for president, then it's not a campaign donation and it wouldn't be reported. And there's nothing wrong. He doesn't have to report as a campaign donation. So that's another defense. That's why I said that those tweets up above where they're trying to show, no, definitely only for campaign. That's the only reason Stormy was paid, for campaign, that he happened. How do we know this? Because admitted perjurer Mike Cohen said, well, Trump told me we have to push this off till after the election, and I don't care about Melania. I can replace that hoe any day of the week if I wanted to, because how long do you think I'd be on the market? Because I'm a big stud, because you TDS people know how he thinks that he's all that. All right. Where was we? Moving along. So he said it's going to be a wild ride in DC. So his lawyers were saying that he got paid $35,000 a month. What he was paid. $30,000 a month? I don't remember. I don't remember. It was a couple weeks ago. Did Mr. Trump prove it? Yes, he said it was going to be a wild ride in DC. Did Mr. Trump give you the job in that meeting or around then? One or the other. I wrote to Gene Friedman. I'll be personal counsel to President Trump. Did you announce your new position on Hannity on January 18th? Yes. Mr. Weisberg said I should send a monthly invoice for legal services. I did not prepare a retainer agreement because I knew there would be no compensation. Let's break. Yes, let's please. This is a good time for me to remind you, while we're on a break here, that you should please make sure that you listen to the cartoon. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, drop a comment down below. If you're enjoying my coverage here, I'd be obliged. Also, if you want to find out about my personal efforts as I'm suing Judge Merchan to try and get this unconstitutional gag order overturned, you can learn more and support that at givesendgo.com/ungag Trump. I urge you to check that out and to be as generous as you can. All right. Uh-oh, that's not what I wanted. They're on a break. Is that it? Is that it? Why can let me scroll down to the bottom here. Uh-oh. 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 That's the end of that thread. It looks like it ended. Let's check out his report.
Okay, here we are. Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press. Here, just out of the Trump trial. Today, Monday, May 13th. It was Michael Cohen's day. Michael Cohen all day, only on direct, no cross-examination yet. He told his story in a notably disciplined way. He described being very excited going to work for the Trump organization. He'd previously been, of course, in taxi medallions and personal injury law at some firm on 225 Broadway, he mentioned. Not far from here, actually. But he went to work for Mr. Trump. They stiffed his former firm. He owed $100,000. Trump said, "I'm not going to pay. Come and work for me." He did, and he never made sure the firm was paid. I'm sure the firm knew about that, but it's interesting. But so then Trump became the Cohen became the fixer. He was trying to drum up real estate in New Jersey for a golf course, he says. And then we get into the heart of the matter. The heart of the matter. He became aware at one point of a radar online, maybe the dirty, but then it came down to Karen McDougal. To me, it was interesting to know that in fact, Pecker, who later, I think on the stand, he complained that he didn't get paid $150,000. In fact, according to Cohen, Pecker said, no need to pay. The magazine cover has turned out to be very lucrative with Karen McDougal on it. But then there was the Stormy Daniels matter, and he described in great detail, eventually taking out the key lock. He said basically so his wife wouldn't ask him what the money was for, because if he took it out of his own account, she would ask, but the key lock was paperless, according to him. And then, fatefully, a meeting in January 2017 with Weisselberg, at which it was agreed that he would get $420,000. That's grossed up, and then something to Redfin, which he was very cagey about what that payment was for. And then he says they went into Trump's office, and he was asked, did Trump approve this? He said yes, and then Mr. Trump said it's going to be a wild ride in D.C. The yes was it wasn't a direct quote. I don't know. I think both sides will focus on that. Now, tomorrow should be the cross-examination. And it's going to be Todd Blanche, and not Emile Beauvais, who tore into Keith Davidson, nor Susan Neckles, who tore into Stormy Daniels. Now, there were stories saying that Trump was dissatisfied with the lack of aggression of his attorneys. Well, the two aggressors are sitting on the sideline. We'll have to see what Todd Blanche's approach will be. Is there a different Todd Blanche? Or was this could they bring somebody in from the bullpen? I've never seen that. We're all over it. We're now heading back to SDNY, where we were intending.
That would be very weird.
To cover as best we can amid all this, the Menendez trial. There was a jury selection today, and we should be able to be over there both Wednesday and Friday for Gold Bar Menendez. But for now, it's Trump. To be continued, Inner City Press.
Thank you, Inner City Press. And I urge you guys to all follow him on X if you're on X. I urge you to follow him as he is awesome. All right, I only got two things left for you. Two short things left. Two short things left. This, because it horrified me.
Sent over my Venmo.
That's what we got on Trump. And that's what we got from Michael Cohen. And I think you're now all caught up to speed as to his testimony that he's given on direct. Question is how he fares on cross. I'm hopeful that his attorneys will be aggressive. I don't know much about Todd Blanche's personal style. Matthew Lee certainly would know better than I would. That's disconcerting. It would be highly unusual, highly unusual for one person to be the one attorney to be the one objecting, and then that person not be the individual to cross. So whoever is screaming objection is almost always the person who handles cross. Sort of like, this is your witness that you're handling, and it's for both direct and cross. So it's a little disconcerting that people have concerns about his aggressiveness, because this is a witness who you need to take down. You can take him down hard. Anyway, and I obviously mean that figuratively, not literally. I wanted to share with you this video. Because, and just get your thoughts on this, because, oh my God. Totally unrelated. Nothing to do with law or politics. This is more of a humanities thing. This is just bizarre.
A Venmo request for $36 to my son's friend's mom after they came to our house for a play date.
This woman, who's obviously on something, sent a Venmo request for $36 fee after she hosted a play date. So the kid's mom, she hit her up for a Venmo payment.
And she sent me the rudest response. So I sent over my Venmo request.
And she's telling this story over. Obviously, you're only hearing one side of it, so okay. Just a heads up, I've sent over Venmo request $36 for the food and supplies your kid used during the play date. Thanks for covering your share. And
it just said,
okay, this is bizarre to me. I need to know, is this something parents do? I'm going to tell you this. I got 6 kids. I can't tell you how many play dates we've had in our house, or our kids going over to other houses and things of that nature. I cannot even tell you. Never, ever, 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 ever would I ever, and when I say ever, I mean literally not ever, have considered asking the parent of some kid who came to my house to cover expenses that were incurred as a result of a play date. Now, with one exception. If I was taking a kid, let's say, to some special activity, and that activity cost, I don't know, something in excess of $25, $30, then yeah, okay, going to like a ball game, I'd be like, hey, taking a kid to a ball game, it's going to cost, $50 a seat. You want to, are you able to kick in? I wouldn't send a bill. Like, are you able to kick in? Maybe, okay, I get that. Because I'm specifically digging into my pocket an extra $50 to cover this kid. So I can understand that. I don't remember ever doing that personally. But I would certainly, even if it was less than that, even if it was a $10 that you take him to a movie, I can understand in that context. But it's like, I'm spending $15 on this kid coming into this movie. Why am I paying for this kid's movie? His parents should pay for that. That'd be appropriate. Frankly, most kids, I would assume that their parents would just volunteer, be like, oh, you took my kids to the movie, here's $20. That's what you do. Like, you just sort of, you understand that, like, why is some stranger paying for my kid going to a movie? So asking for a bill, I'd feel awkward doing that. This Looney Tune here sent a bill for $36, and check out what she's charging for.
hey, I had a great play date. I sent you a Venmo for $36 for food and supplies. So this other mom said, like, thanks for the hospitality, but this is like a price.
We received your bill for the play date. $36 for snacks and supplies? Seriously? I hope you enjoyed your little price gouging scheme. Thanks for the hospitality.
Gouging scheme to like make money, and they called it like a bill. Why?
You send a request. It is a bill. This is what she wrote. Yes, I'm serious. Food prices so expensive lately. I kept a running tab of everything your son ate. So I'm justified in my request. When you say I'm justifying my request, you're already sounding defensive. Here are the prices for the items. Bag of goldfish, $3. Go-Gurt, $2. 3 squirts of soap during hand washing, $1. Ah! Your kid used soap.
While her son
2 juice boxes, $4. Wow.
was over, I just kept on my notes tab, a running tab of everything
You are a loathsome creature, woman. You are a loathsome, loathsome creature.
that her son used during the play date. I made sure to put all
10 minutes of marker use. 10 minutes of marker use. Okay, this kid, I'll tell you something. I wouldn't want my kid playing with this woman's kid even in my house, because I'd assume that this woman's kid is a wacko. How can you grow up in a house with this Looney Tune and not be a wacko? This is insane. 10 minutes of marker use.
the food her son ate. I counted the number of pumps that
45 minutes of electricity used for a video game. $5. Look at number 6. Look at number 6. 45 minutes of electricity used for a video game. $5. Wow.
they used as soap when he washed his hands. They played video games for 45 minutes. So I calculated how much that electricity cost was and then divided it by 2. So for my son and her son. And then he did spill his juice on the carpet. So I charged the cleanup fee.
That's redheaded libertarian Josie. Look at her face. A cleanup fee because your kid spilled a juice box. I charged a cleanup fee. Wow. Wow. Oh my God, what is wrong with people? Someone tell me what is wrong with people. How is this? How are there humans like this? This face. That face. Oh, that says it all. So I think Menendez finally gets jail time. I don't know. Hopefully. I'd write back, when you send me the contract, my signature, agree and pay for anything for the play date. I'll pay what I agreed to in the contract. Otherwise, take a long walk off a short pier. Yep. Yep. Or sue me. Do it. Sue me. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is a sick society. Let's hear from Josie, her thoughts on this.
Bitch, you did what? You're charging a child for juice boxes? I looked over some of that list and it is appalling. $3 for an ice cream sandwich. $3 for gold.
Well, $3 could be if it's one of those Dove bars. That I actually can see it being. That's why I didn't raise the ice cream. Although if it was a Dove bar, she probably would charge 10. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah.
Goldfish crackers. $1 per pump of soap for washing his hands.
No, it was $1 for 3 pumps, I think. I don't know.
But like, you see, like, groceries are so expensive right now. By groceries, I think she means cocaine. It's a tough market right now.
Probably.
Everybody's struggling, I get it. But gouging your son's parents for money. It's always bitches like this that have perfect manicures that are complaining about not having money. I mean, she looks retarded enough to make a killing on OnlyFans. Sell some feet pics, you dumb bitch. No matter.
So there you go. Josie ain't impressed. Do you think that that's weird? Do you think it's weird to sell?
No matter how hard things get, this is not the way to go about fixing them.
Yeah, I totally agree with her. I totally agree with that was insanity. I saw that. I started laughing and laughing when I saw that woman. I thought she was hilarious. Ah. How did my Jewiness just show? I just said I wouldn't charge. I wouldn't charge. I don't understand. I was actually thinking, and people say the Jews are cheap. I was like, she don't look no Jewish. She didn't look Jewish. That's what I was thinking when I was watching. It's like, yeah, Blondie there don't look too Jewish. So I don't want to hear about citrus. There's one other thing I wanted to share with you. And this is short, but I thought this was hilarious. This courtesy of Liberty Lockdown. I saw this on his timeline. Because really, this doesn't really require anything more than just a watch. This is someone sharing a text conversation, which Liberty Lockdown aptly said, pretty sure this is peak internet. Pretty sure this is peak internet. So let's see what Liberty Lockdown thinks is peak internet. Somebody's saying, I'll give you $100 for the Nintendo Switch. How much is a Nintendo Switch? I want to see. Let me see. I don't know what a Nintendo Switch. $249. Okay. $299. Okay, so I'll pay you. Someone's offering $100 for the Nintendo Switch.
I'll give you 100 for the Nintendo Switch. Sorry, 100 is too low. It's okay. I'm a single mom, so cool. That's why
I didn't know there was a song. I heard this without the music. But I like the song.
I offer it low. What does that have to do with my Switch?
What does that do? I'm a single mom, so cool. That's why I offer low. What does that have to do with my Switch? That you're a single mom?
Money is super tight for me.
Oh, money's super tight for me.
Cool me too. Why do you think I'm selling my
Switch? So good. Cool, me too. Why do you think I'm selling my Switch?
I don't know, because you're broke.
I don't know, because you're broke.
Why don't you go ask your baby daddy?
Why don't you go ask your baby daddy? This is peak internet.
What did you just say to me? I bet you can't even afford your phone bill to be texting me.
Things spiral quickly here. They spiral quickly. Why don't you go ask your baby daddy? What did you just say to me? Bye, Beyonce. I bet you can't even afford your phone. This is the woman who just started saying, I don't have money. Saying, I bet you can't even afford your phone bill to be texting me.
I bet you're single, raising the kids because you make great life decisions.
I bet you're single raising a kid because this is so harsh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I guess he felt $100 was an insulting offer. And that's what I'm taking.
Excuse me, my boyfriend left me.
Excuse me, my boyfriend left me.
I couldn't imagine why.
I couldn't imagine why.
Don't contact me ever again.
Don't contact me ever again.
No problem, I'll be just like your boyfriend.
Dead. 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 Don't contact me ever again. No problem. I'll be just like your boyfriend. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's funny. That was so good. Oh, that was so good. Whew. All right. That was really good. All right. Did that impress you, Rumble Ghetto? Did that impress you? Are you not entertained? All right. The cartoon is coming up. You know what the cartoon's going to tell you to do? Cartoon's going to make sure that you hit the like and subscribe buttons. This doesn't just apply to YouTube folk. It's you Rumble Ghetto folk too. You Rumble Ghetto folk. I want you to find me again also. Urge you all to check out givesendgo.com/ungag Trump. Ungag Trump. Big things developing. Big things developing. Applications. We're moving to try and get relief. I'm going to probably break that down for you in greater detail tomorrow on Locals. I have not uploaded the papers yet from my adversary or the reply papers from Ron. I'm going to be taking care of uploading all that stuff so you guys can read their stuff. I've gone over it. I've reviewed it online, but it's probably long to sit through that for a couple of hours. So in case you want to read it on your own, I'll be uploading that. That's goodlogic.locals.com. Goodlogic.locals.com. Those of you who are new subscribers, remember that the following is not at all a cult. I'm not the leader. I'm just a host. I'm not the leader of the following. I thank you all so much for joining me. The one piece of advice I would give you before I let you go, the last piece of advice I would give you is it really doesn't matter how hungry you are. It doesn't matter how well they package it or if it's in some fancy labels and stuff like that. It's all a ruse. It's all like Michael Cohen's testimony. It's gross. It's disgusting. So no matter what they say, do not eat the bugs. As always, I say to you, thank you for joining me. I'll be back here, God willing, tomorrow evening. Till then, good night and Godspeed.